books I need to talk about. Evil laugh. She said evil laugh. Okay, let's try again. Let's try again to see if this time it's better. Hi guys, and welcome back. Welcome back to my booktube channel. I have read quite a bit in January and February. Not crazy amounts of books, because booktubers, you guys have different kind of standards. You read 20 books a month, and I'm just here reading about 6 in a really good month, 10 books a month. But hey, you know what? I'm doing my best here. I'm doing my best. But here I am wanting to talk to you about what I read in January and February. So yes, I've read some thrillers, I've read some crime, I've read some romance, and a little bit of fantasy thrown in there. So let's just begin. I have my notes open, so I'll just consult that a little bit. But anyway, hope you enjoy this, and if you do, please subscribe. Please click that like button because it helps me grow and helps me, you know, share my book recommendations with other people. If I think any booktuber will know that because we read a little bit more than an average person, we force our book choices and our favorite books onto a lot of our family members and friends, and they get sometimes a little bit annoyed because they haven't finished reading the previous choice that we have recommended to them. So there we are, guys. That's why I'm here to recommend to you my choices. Anyway, here is what I read in January and February. The first thing I read was Someone We Know by Shari Lapena, and it is a great domestic thriller. It was full of twists and turns, and it kept me guessing, and I really had a good time. I enjoyed it a lot, and I truly recommend it if you want to read it in one sitting, because I read it in one day and it was perfect. This is set in a quiet, leafy suburban neighborhood, and here the first thing we find out is that there's a teenage boy who has broken into a few people's houses, and no one knows who it is, but suddenly everyone is on guard and everyone starts to feel uncomfortable because they don't know what this teenage boy has done while he's been in these houses. Shortly afterwards, we discover that there is a murdered woman who is someone else's wife in this neighborhood. So all of these little suburban secrets start to come up, and I was there for it. It was great. It was fun. I was entertained. I gave this book 4 stars. Yeah, it's a great read. Recommend it. Okay, next book we're going to talk about is The Last House on the Nile Street. And oh my god, guys, this blew my mind. This is 5 stars. It is beautiful. It is gorgeous. I loved it. I recommend it. I will force this upon anyone. It was a thriller, sort of haunting story, heartbreaking, heart-wrenching, all of these things. It kept me uneasy. I was, honestly, the hair on my arms stood up. It kept me in that uncomfortable place, which I love. I love that about horror books. I love that it makes me feel uneasy. And you just, while you're reading this, you know something is really deeply wrong and you just can't put your finger on it, and it was brilliant. I will read you the synopsis because I feel like the UK synopsis for this just is brilliant. This is a story of a murderer, a stolen child, revenge. This is the story of Ted, who lives with his daughter. Lauren and his cat Olivia in an ordinary house at the end of an ordinary street. All these things are true, and yet some of them are lies. I mean, oh my god, it was so good. I loved it. It was incredibly powerful and really well executed, and highly recommended, guys. That's all you need to know when going in. We read from few perspectives. We read from perspective of Ted, who's, I guess, our main character. We read from a perspective of a cat, and we read from perspective of a woman named Dee, whose little sister disappeared very long time ago. So that's all you need to know. Please pick this up. It's amazing. 5 stars. I need this on my shelves. I will want to reread it at some point, I think. Oh, it was amazing. It gave me all the feels. It just did everything for me. And that twist at the end blew my mind. Oh my god, I was there for it. It was brilliant. When a thriller can do that to me, it just makes me feel great. It just makes me feel so good, accomplished. I don't know why. Anyway, there you go. The next book I read was Frostheart by Jamie Littler, and I was reading it while listening to an audiobook as well at the same time. An audiobook is read by Joshua Maguire, and it is amazing. He is amazing, I'm telling you guys. I think this added to my enjoyment of this book because it's absolutely beautiful, and the illustrations here are gorgeous. I mean, this was incredibly enjoyable. I gave this 4.5 stars, and it is in my eyes really high. It's still like it lacks a little bit the Nevermore level, but it's really close. It is a great adventure. We follow this boy Ash, and he lives in a cold, monster-infested snow sea, and he lives in a stronghold called Fyra. He's waiting for his parents because his parents left a long time ago, and the only thing he has left from them is a soft lullaby that he likes to hum to himself. But in this world, song weaving or singing is very frowned upon, because apparently with the song weaving you can control the monsters that live in this land. Leviathans. They are bloodthirsty monsters who are also singing their rage song. And yeah, and one day a huge ship, Pathfinder ship, comes into the stronghold, and we start our journey from there with Ash, with his Yeti bodyguard, with this huge amazing crew from this ship, and I was there for it. It is brilliant. I absolutely enjoyed it. I immediately went and got the other, they're up on my shelf there, other 2 books in the series, and I will be continuing it. Maybe not this month, hopefully maybe this month I will pick up the second one, because it was so good, guys. It was brilliant. I'm gonna read one quote from you, and it was just so gorgeous. I hear the water roaring and rushing, pulsing with energetic life. I hear the earth below it hum with a deep, mighty rumble, reminding me that wherever I am, whatever I am doing, I am never truly lost, for the world, all of it, is where I belong. I mean, this is so beautiful. Oh my god, I love it. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. I do enjoy a good middle grade. Like, I will be the first one to admit it. Anyway, moving on. The next book I read is The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides, and it is very favored by YouTubers and booktubers, but I have to say I did enjoy it. I thought it was good. I thought it was a good thriller, good crime thriller. However, about halfway through, I started to suspect the main twist that happens at the end. So I think therefore my enjoyment was about 3.75. Because also the main character, Theo, I wasn't really warming up to him because his behavior was very shady and very often in the gray area, and also, I'm sorry, I didn't like the way he treated his mom, or his view of his mother. I really didn't like it in this book. I don't know why, and maybe that put my enjoyment down. I still really enjoyed it, and I think it's a good read. All we know is that this patient called Alicia, I think, she has murdered her husband and basically hasn't said a word since. And it's been about 6 years, and she's in this psychiatric facility. And then we have this other character, Theo, who's a psychotherapist, and he decides that he is going to be the one to make Alicia talk, to help her through her trauma. And yeah, and he gets a job in this psychiatric facility, and then he starts treating Alicia, but things are not as smooth as he first thought. That's all I want to say. Whether Alicia killed her husband or not, I mean, you guys need to pick this up and read it. I thought it's still an enjoyable book. I did enjoy it. I'm not gonna keep it on my shelves though, because I gave it 3.75. I have his other book, The Maidens, so I'll see how I get on with this one. But even though a lot of people say that they didn't see the twist coming in this one, about halfway through I started suspecting that that's what it is, and I was right. So it wasn't as surprising to me. It was still a good book. I mean, I still enjoyed it. So yeah. Alright, moving on. The next book I picked up was The Man Who Didn't Call by Rosie Walsh. And this is sort of a, I guess, a love story, you know, 7 perfect days, and then he disappeared. He ghosted her, basically. We all know what happens when a person ghosts you. We just basically move on with our lives. But in this book, it was about their love story. It was how deeply and irrevocably they fell in love. And yeah, I did enjoy the writing style. She basically tries to find this man that basically she fell in love with, because he doesn't call anymore, he doesn't text her, he is completely disappeared, he's completely off the grid, and she doesn't know what happened, because she thought that there is much more than just a holiday fling. So she's on this search for this man, and I don't know. Here's the thing. There are a lot of good themes in this book. There is grief, there is an experience of loss, there is rebuilding your life after a huge tragic event, and those themes I really enjoyed in this book, even though they can be triggering for some people. But the other side, this huge love story between Sarah and Eddie, our main characters, it wasn't explored as well. It wasn't built as well, so I didn't feel that passion, I didn't feel that engagement, that love. So those were lacking. I felt like they were lacking. For this to be as, you know, life-changing as they were, as Rosie was trying to portray it in this book, I didn't feel it. So I feel like that side of the story was not built quite well. I still gave it 3.75, about the same as well, because I really enjoyed the writing style. I like that descriptive, a little bit flowery writing. I did enjoy it, and like I said, the other themes were explored very, very well. So in regards to those, I really thought it was a very unique and very good book to read. However, it is lacking. I felt like it was almost like the other thing was a bit neglected. The actual love story was left kind of unexplored. It's very PG-13. It is very... I think I've used a little bit of smut in my books now, and just like a little bit, at least a little bit. Like, I want to feel that passion, and I didn't really feel it here. That's all I have to say. I still enjoyed it though. I still enjoyed it, and it made me emotional at times. Alright, and the next book, which I don't have it on me, but which I read as well, was Emily Henry Beach Read. And here we follow January and Gus. They are both authors who have hit a heavy writer's block. And they end up neighbors. They end up renting a house next to each other and spending summertime together. So they're sort of enemies, I guess, to lovers. They're not really enemies, but I guess they're just rivals. So they decide as a bet to write a book for each other. So January is this very flowery romance writer, and Gus is a really intelligent literary type. So they decide to kind of, for fun, write a book sort of how the other one would write it. I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was a very solid romance. I really liked the whip crack banter. I liked that it was so back and forth, very quick, very sharp, very intelligent and witty. I just really enjoyed that, and I really did enjoy the romance as well. So I thought it was a good romance book. I gave it 4 stars. I mean, it didn't hit my 5-star mark, but very rarely romance does. But I still, it was really enjoyable, so recommend it if you guys want to pick that up. I mean, I picked it up in winter, but, you know, I don't know, maybe I wanted to feel like I'm on the beach. Who knows? Okay, and the next 6 books I read were all part of the series, and it's none other than Zodiac Academy. Oh, of course, I picked up Zodiac Academy, and I had a blast. I mean, the first 3 books I tore through like I think, I don't know, in 2-3 days. I just couldn't stop reading. And then the next 3 books, they get just chunkier and chunkier as they go along, and they just... I felt like the 5 and 6 were a bit of filler books, so... But I still really enjoyed it, and I think it is a great series to kind of binge. There's still book 7 and 8, but the book 8 is coming, I think, at the end of this year. So I'm gonna keep book 7 because all of these books end up on a cliffhanger, and I mean, yeah, if I read a book 7 and there's this huge cliffhanger, I will be heartbroken. I don't know. I need a book 8 out until I can read book 7. Yeah, there's the first book called The Awakening, the second Ruthless Fae, the third The Reckoning, and then the 4th Shadow Princess, the 5th Cursed Fates, and the 6th Page's Throne. Okay, in this book series, we follow our 2 main characters, Tori and Darcy. They are scrappy 18-year-olds who have been thrown from foster care to foster care all their lives, and they are used to fighting their own battles. They are used to fending for themselves, and on their birthdays, on their 18th birthdays, they receive news in the form of a man named Professor Orion, who tells them that they are lost princesses from a different realm called Solaria. They are lost Vega princesses, and Vega king and queen were the rulers of this kingdom called Solaria, which is a different alternate universe, not universe, but alternate land. And obviously they don't believe him. However, when he magically transports them to this world in front of this huge school named Zodiac Academy, they start to believe, okay, maybe this dude knows something's going on here. So we have, it's very interesting. We have different orders in this world. Obviously it is inhabited by Fae. And Fae have different orders. Orders can be unicorns, orders can be Pegasus, orders can be vampires, werewolves, dragons. So Fae can belong to different order. The order is not something you choose, it is something that emerges in every Fae. So it can be anything, you don't really know your order. However, genetically, you know, if you are from a dragon family, technically you should be a dragon. However, it's not always the case. So also this world is ruled by the stars. The stars can imbue a lot of magic in this world and can actually bless you with certain elemental powers. So most of the people have one elemental power. So we're talking about fire, water, earth, air. Is that correct? Yes. So most of the Fae in this world have one elemental power. Some have 2, very rarely 3. However, on the initiation, Darcy and Tori, they have 4 elemental powers, so they become a threat. Because in the absence of Queen and King Vega, who have been brutally murdered in this world, the land is ruled by 4 counselors, by 4 counselor families, and these 4 counselors have 4 heirs that also go to the Zodiac Academy. And here we have the bullies of the story. This is a dark romance. It's a bully and beast romance, and I have to say, in the first book there is a lot of abuse, there's a lot of violence and bullying, and actually it got to a point where it became really uncomfortable, and I didn't think that any of these characters can be redeemed whatsoever. I thought they're disgusting. Like, they're disgusting Fae beings. I don't like it. However, they do redeem themselves on, oh boy, how they do redeem themselves, and I was there for it. I thought the world building was amazing, because obviously these 4 counselors, just four heirs that are ruling the kingdom right now, do not want the Vega princesses to take their throne away. So obviously they are bullying these girls at school, and they just put them through crazy stuff. I mean, it is very uncomfortable to read the first book, I have to say, so trigger warnings for that one. But apart from that, I really enjoyed everything after the first half of the book one. Everything else was really enjoyable. I was there for it. I was really excited to know what order Tori and Darcy belong to, because we don't discover that until book 3, and I was just so excited. I was like, I want to know what they are. Oh my goodness. Anyway, it is an amazing fantasy series. There's a little bit of smut in there, but I felt like the characters are very well fleshed out. I felt like the world building is well done as well. Few little quirks there, here and there, but I thought it was amazing. I thought it's definitely worth a read, and push through the first book. I feel like you're gonna enjoy the other remaining ones. Yes, I think I've gotten through this wrap up, so in one piece, so we're all good. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, guys, and I will let you know what I'm reading in March. Hopefully I can do that next week. I will let you know what I have, what's my TBR for March, and then I have a few other things that I would like to share with you. I would like to share what I have recently watched in regards to TV series and shows, because I do like to indulge sometimes as well in that. So I will let you know, what I have watched and on TV, and yeah, maybe you can get some recommendations from that, and I hope you enjoyed my wrap up, and hopefully we'll pick up some of the books that I have recommended. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please, if you like my videos, don't forget to subscribe and like, and yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye!